good afternoon. This is Houndog wishing you a very pleasant afternoon, and I hope this finds you well. Now, this is something I've been meaning to make a little video of for quite a while because it really irked me. Here we have a product. It is called Deep North, aka Love Your Pet Spray, Skin and Fur Protection. Okay, now this product has been on the market for about 25 years. It's made very close to where I live. It's made by the Halliburton Soap Factory, and there has been, to the best of my knowledge, and I talked to Elaine, the owner, about this, there has been no complaint of any side effects by this spray for fur and skin protection for your pet. Okay, now I'm just going to read the ingredients for you. Ingredients: distilled water, citronella, cedarwood, lemongrass, lavender, eucalyptus and peppermint, essential oils, aloe, vitamin E and polysorbate, which is a blending agent or an emulsifier. All of these products are sold over the counter. Anyone can buy them. You don't need a license, you don't need any special permission. They've all been passed as safe to use. This woman merely mixes them together and puts them in a spray bottle like this. Okay, now she has recently been shut down by Health Canada. Now anyone who lives in Canada would know that Health Canada is basically run by Theresa Tam, and here she is. Oh my God, I can't stand to look at this woman anymore after the last 3 years, because she was the principal person behind all of the nonsense, the lockdowns, the mandates, because she was the one, as head of Health Canada, advising the government on what its position should be and what its actions should be. So all of the nonsense was caused by this single person over the last 3 years. Now this is the same person, the same organization, Health Canada, that has shut down production simply because she mixes these ingredients together. Okay, she makes no claims that it is a bug spray. That just happens to be a happy side effect of the combination of these essential oils. And yet Health Canada has reclassified this product as a pesticide, and if she wants to continue selling it, now what they said technically is, is she cannot mix the product together, and or the oils together, and she has to undergo what will be incredibly expensive testing of this product before she can sell it again. Now, does anyone remember Avon Skin So Soft? That was basically a bath oil that turned out to have the same properties. It was a lucky, happy coincidence that it repelled bugs. But here, let's just read what Avon said about its own product. Does Avon Skin So Soft bath oil work as a bug spray? Here it is, Skin So Soft. I'm sure you all heard that it does repel bugs. On sites like TripAdvisor and Reddit, and in many online reviews, people often tout one product as an effective alternative to traditional bug sprays: Avon Skin So Soft Original Bath Oil. The bath oil enjoys a decades-long reputation as an easy way to avoid mosquito bites, but Avon itself emphasizes that it isn't designed as an insect repellent. The company makes no claims that it works as one. Still, plenty of internet commenters say it worked for them. So is this any different from Deep North, aka Love Your Pet Spray, Skin and Fur Protection? It makes no claim that it repels bugs. That just happens to be an interesting and happy side effect. So you can see Avon states quite clearly they never claimed that that was part of their product. It was just as a bath oil, as a skin softener, and to give it a nice silky feel and to rehydrate it, I guess. Anyways, they never got shut down. Now, doing this, it led me into doing a bit of research about Deet, because Deet is in, as we will see, in approximately 500 products. One of the first things they found, check this out, these are things that are damaged, products that are damaged by Deet. not people. These are just other products or things that you may have that will be damaged if you spray DEET or use the DEET oil and get it on these products as well. Here we go. Collateral damage caused by DEET. These are things that will be damaged, products that will be damaged if it comes in contact with DEET. Plastic, rubber, vinyl, backpacks, glasses, watches, and cameras. So like I say, this is just clothing and articles that you may have on you that could be damaged by DEET. Now, I did do some further research on adverse effects of DEET. And let's flip over to that. I'll read that very quickly and then we'll come back and do a quick wrap up. Okie dokie. Here we go. Okay, so this from Dr. Axe Health News. 6 DEET dangers. Although DEET is known as the most effective insect repellent, research shows that it may trigger toxic side effects in some situations. And with more than 500 products containing DEET on the market, with different concentrations and ingredients, choosing the safest repellent for you and your children can be confusing. Dangers of DEET. According to research published in the New England Journal of Medicine, most cases of serious side effects caused by DEET involve long-term, heavy, frequent or whole-body applications of the repellent. When it is applied with common sense and only on exposed skin for short periods of time, many researchers believe that DEET can be used as an effective and safe way to avoid insect-borne diseases. Still, people today aren't just dealing with DEET, but rather a toxic body burden threat that includes exposure to dozens, if not hundreds, of different chemicals on a daily basis. In some cases, DEET alone may cause minor to serious reactions and conditions, including the following concerns. 1. Allergic reactions. For some people, when DEET is applied to the skin, especially for an extended period of time, it can cause adverse reactions like redness, rash, swelling and hives. Case studies suggest that some people may be at risk of allergic reactions and even anaphylaxis from exposure to DEET. One case involved a 53-year-old female bridge inspector who experienced severe itching of the skin called pruritus and erythema, which involves skin redness, fever and blistering after an insect repellent containing DEET was applied topically. The next time she used a product containing DEET, she developed hives and swollen eyes. She called 911 and was given a Benadryl injection. Nova Southeastern University in Florida published another case study describing a 22-year-old man who developed hives immediately after applying insect repellent and coming into contact with others who had used DEET-containing repellents. And according to reports made to the American Association of Poison Control Centers, symptoms associated with exposure to DEET are related to the route of exposure, with the highest rates caused by exposure to the eyes, followed by inhalation, skin exposure, and ingestion. Now, these are all things that children do. You put DEET on their legs, they touch their legs with their hands, and they put their hands to their face, in their mouth, up their nose, and in their eyes. Although 70% of the cases reported to poison control between the years 1993 and 1997 did not develop symptoms, some individuals did experience major side effects and needed medical treatment, including 2 deaths following skin exposure. 2. Seizures and brain malfunction. In some cases, ingestion of DEET can lead to seizures. There are also reports of DEET-induced seizures in children. According to a case analysis published in Human and Experimental Toxicology, clinical reports of children under 16 years old who suffered from brain damage indicate that symptoms can be caused by not only the ingestion of DEET and repeated and extensive applications, but also brief exposure to the insect repellent. The most prominent symptom among the reported cases was seizures, which affected 72% of the patients and was significantly more frequent when DEET products were applied to the skin. Researchers concluded that repellents containing DEET are not safe when applied to children's skin and should be avoided for children. 3. Gulf War Syndrome. Gulf War Syndrome is a condition that affects veterans of the Gulf War and causes chronic headaches, fatigue, respiratory disorders, and skin conditions. Researchers at Duke University Medical Center found that the emergence of these symptoms may be linked to the simultaneous exposure to multiple agents that were used to protect health of service personnel, particularly DEET, the anti-nerve agent pyriostigmine bromide, not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, and the insecticide permethrin. When the toxic effects of these agents were tested on hens, researchers found that when they were used in combinations, they produced greater neurotoxicity than caused by the individual agents. This may be because the anti-nerve agent can pump more DEET into the central nervous system, causing neuropathological lesions and nerve damage. Although this condition specifically affects those who served in the Gulf War, it may indicate a concern for anyone who is exposed to certain chemical mixtures that include DEET. 4. Carcinogenic properties. Although structures indicate mixed results, there is some evidence that DEET contains carcinogenic properties that can produce dangerous effects when inhaled or applied to the skin. Fancy that. Most of these products come in a spray form. Scientists in Germany investigated the genotoxic effects of 3 widely used pesticides, including DEET. When cells from tissue biopsies were exposed to DEET for 60 minutes, the pesticide displayed potential carcinogenic effects in human nasal mucosal cells. And according to a case study published in the Journal of Occupational Environmental Medicine, exposure to DEET, herbicides and rubber gloves, which are recommended for use by farmers when they are mixing or applying pesticides, increase the odds of developing non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, a group of cancers that develop in the white blood cells. 5. Toxic for pets. The ASPCA Animal Poison Control Center reports that when pets are exposed to DEET-containing products, it can cause significant clinical side effects. If DEET is sprayed in a pet's eyes, it can cause issues like conjunctivitis, scleritis, corneal ulceration, and blepharospasm. Again, not sure if I pronounced that correctly. If this happens, you need to flush it out of your pet's eyes for at least 15 minutes. If your pet inhales DEET, this can cause airway inflammation and difficulty breathing. General exposure to DEET may also cause gastrointestinal issues or side effects, including disorientation, shaking, vomiting, tremors, and seizures. 6. Environmental impact. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency says DEET may be slightly toxic to birds, fish, and aquatic invertebrates. When testing DEET on freshwater fish and insects, it was toxic at extremely high levels. According to the National Pesticide Information Center, DEET is detected in wastewater and in places where wastewater moves into other bodies of water. Even low concentrations produce a slight toxicity in cold water fish. When sprayed, DEET remains in the air as a mist or vapor and must be broken down by the atmosphere. The time it takes to break down depends on the temperature, humidity, and wind. DEET can also enter the environment through soil, where it's said to be moderately mobile. If you choose to use DEET as your go-to insect repellent, there are a few precautions that you can take to avoid potential side effects or adverse reactions. According to the CDC, make sure to follow these directions when using DEET-containing products. Do not apply to irritated skin, cuts, or wounds. Do not apply to hands or close to eyes and mouth. Do not use on young children. Do not use on underclothing. Only apply to exposed skin and minimize exposed skin by wearing long sleeves and pants. Do not over-apply. Wash products from your skin with soap and water after use. Wash clothes that have come into contact with DEET before wearing it again. So as you can see, there are very many questionable things about using DEET, especially on children. When you put DEET on children, or when you put anything on children, especially when it's an oil base that sticks to your skin, and this, by the way, is a water base, so it just washes off with water, and if there is one downside, is that when you sweat, of course, it tends to dilute, so the effect wears off fairly quickly. But when you use oil that sticks to the skin, and even if you don't put it on children's hands, they tend to wipe the skin with their hands, their legs, put it on their face, up their nose, in their mouth, in their eyes, and of course, as we saw, that is the primary way that DEET gets inside of your body and becomes, or that's when the toxicity really is at its most dangerous. Okay, so here we have a product that is completely non-toxic. I've been using this for 10 years on myself and all of the dogs that I've owned in the last 10 years with no problems whatsoever. Let's say, it says don't spray it in the eyes, and of course, you wouldn't do that with any kind of spray like this. But it's got a wonderful smell. It is completely non-toxic, no harmful side effects. Compare this with DEET. why aren't we shutting Deet down and not selling that to the public, which has shown toxic side effects? And yet Health Canada will step in and shut down. This is a one woman, she's 70 years old, and she runs this place by herself. They said never had a complaint in 25 years. And although this is a small local story, you know, this is one person who's been put out of work. She was making an income from selling this product, but it's part of the bigger picture of the heavy hand of Health Canada and Ontario Health, of course, in the province that I'm in, and the stance that they took over COVID, destroying people's lives, businesses. All of the things that they said, we have now found out, are completely wrong. Completely wrong. And they should have known that these were lies. And all along they said, safe and effective, trust the science. Safe and effective, trust the science. Well, here we see again that they're saying that Deet is safe and effective, and yet a non-toxic product like this. And I'm not pushing it because you can't buy this anymore. Okay, I'm not advertising this product, although it should be back on the market. But they shut this woman down without doing one iota of reading. Just reading the ad, just reading the piece about Avon Skin So Soft, would see that these products are exactly the same thing. Neither make the claim that they are a bug repellent or a pesticide. They are a skin, and in this case a skin and pet hair treatment. That's all, a conditioner. And it works very, very well at that, but as I say, it has a wonderful side effect of repelling bugs. So as I say, even though this is a small story, you know, this just shows you how destructive and vindictive the government is in its behavior. And it really doesn't do any research at all. It just shuts things down, destroys people's lives for no good reason. And, you know, I'm sure that anybody trying to reason with these people, like I am right now, although I'm sure they won't see this little video, they have no care or concern. You know, they're not going to lose any pay or any sleep over this. And yet one woman has been put out of business. And there are now many, many customers searching for something that they can use to put on their dog's coats, to condition the coat and to keep the bugs away. So I'm disgusted with the whole situation, and I'm one of many, many, many people now who have completely lost faith in the authority of these departments supposed to be advising us on how to stay healthy and how to stay away from harm. So if you've enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe below, and in the meantime, this is Houndog Steve signing off, wishing you a very pleasant afternoon, and we'll talk very, very shortly. See you now. Bye.